Hi everyone, welcome to Color Fun with the Color Manager in Artistic Digitizer. Let me get my camera on and say a proper hello. Hi there everyone. I had a little issue earlier. I'm not sure what's going on with trying to connect to the internet. So I have internet. My streaming service just isn't connecting and I have another issue in my Mac. So that could be the problem. We don't know. Anyways, I'm going to record this for all of you so you get this topic. I'm talking about our color manager in Artistic Digitizer, and we've moved from the color menu that we had on the right-hand side to using the color manager. So I want to cover how to use it and then some fun things that you can do with the color manager. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go and put my software up so we have that. Let's see what's happening with that. Let's see if it's, oh, there it goes. Okay, so here it is. So for those of you who might be new to Artistic Digitizer, this is the welcome page. And one thing I made sure I would definitely show you is you can't see the videos over on the right-hand side because I have them closed. There's a little triangle here and there are the videos. There's a lot of videos in here. They're nice and short. You can learn a lot of different things about the software by looking at those videos. There's videos on our Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. If you scroll through the comments, they're in there. And then you can also see them on the Janome YouTube channel, and you can see them on my YouTube channel, Anne Hein, because I've organized them over there because Facebook was deleting all the videos. So I've tried to move as many as I can over there, and it's still a process. So when you open your software, this is what it looks like. Those just starting out right here, you want to set your default hoop and machine. So you can pick whatever brand machine you have, and then whatever model in there, and then you can pick your favorite hoop. I always use the RE46D. Once you select it, it pops like that, and you're all set. This tab down here is very misunderstood. This is all of these fabrics that are under this category right here, normal, all of these have the same density, the same parameters, all of them. They will just put a little graphic behind your work, or if you want a color, you can click in and get a color up here. I like mine to be, I usually work in the normal, and I like non-normal, which means it's white. There are all of these other ones, and I've covered these and talked about them before, but if you search in the manual for embroidery categories or fabric, it'll explain how this works, okay? So once you choose what you want, just click OK, and everything's right there. Now, this is how you go into the program. You can try any of these little tabs. Today, I'm going to use the browse function right here. And I have a USB stick in my Mac right now, and it's right here. It's under devices. So if you had favorites open, or maybe your recents, you want to click on devices, you'll see your USB stick there. And then at the bottom, if your Wi-Fi machine is on, your CM17, your MC15000, or your S9, you will see it down here. And as you can see, I can see my ready to sew screen if I want, the built-in drive, and I do have one USB stick in that I could look in as well, and all the built-in samples. So you get to do a lot when you're connected through a Wi-Fi enabled machine on there. But if you're bringing over things with a USB stick, you would find it right here in this list. And then this is where you would search your computer for things that you're looking for, and you can make shortcuts to them by right-clicking on the folder over here like this, and then you can say, let's see if I don't, add to favorites. So I could add that to favorites, and then it would be over here. Doesn't move it in your computer, it just adds it to there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, first of all, we're going to go in and I'm going to open a new page. So I'm just going to come up here to new, and there's my nice area. My properties won't expand until I have something in my work area. So I'm going to click on a shape, and I'm going to left click and drag, and I'm actually going to put like 3 shapes up here. So now you can see my properties is open over here, but I don't have a color menu. I do have a sequence, and then I could change that to manual if I want, and it will show each part of that. And then if I change it to, if I go back to auto and I open my sequence window again, let's see here, it will show my items. Let me go back here. Oh, that's why. And now it should expand. There it is. Okay. So now I can see my fills and my outlines over here. Now, if I wanted to change the color of any of these, say I wanted to change the color of this one, I would select it, and then I could come over here, and only the part that's selected right now is the inside part, the fill part. So I would left click on there, and I would get my color manager window, and I could change the palette here if I wanted to pick a different brand if I was using it, but I'm going to stay with Janome for just a moment. We're going to change in a bit. And then I like to look at the swatches. And so these are in the same order they were over here, except now they go across this way. All right. So maybe I want that to be pink. So I can just click here, and that one is pink. If I want to change the outline of that, I know it's selected here. Now I could try to do this, and it selected both the inside and the outside. So I can click on the pencil, and I could do the same thing over here. I could change it to this dark purple color, and there it is, that dark purple color. And I think because I didn't click on the actual saved one, all of these went to the blue color. You see that? These two are green, but this one up here and this one turned into blue. Oh, I know, I changed my inside to out. Okay, so let me delete this middle one and this part here. So you can pick your colors that way in your design and go through them that way as well. All right, so one thing I really like about this, and we could do this before, but I'm going to open up a design like this one here. And it is, when I hover over here, these are Janome colors. So let me select this, and then I can hover here, and it shows their Janome colors. So if I wanted to change the whole thing at once to another brand, I could come to my color manager on the left, and then I can see the colors here. And right here is where I would change all the colors. So I could click here, and maybe I'm going to use Marathon, or maybe I am using Isochord, or I don't, let's see what, there's a lot of them here. Maybe I'm doing Madeira or something like that. So I'm going to choose my Marathon right here. And mine are not in order because I've changed my palette order in my preferences. Okay, so now when I click on selection up here and click off of this, it says Marathon down here. Okay, which is pretty cool. So the next thing I can do is if I needed to change, colors of certain parts, again, I would come in here and I could look at my swatches, and maybe I want to make that, I'm going to make it a really bright color so we can see it. And then I'm just going to click there. And just that part changed when I clicked the box. It kept the brown, but it changed just this box. If I wanted to change something up here, maybe these lines, I would go to my bucket and I could pick something here, maybe this pink. And if I just click off of it, we do, and I touched something else, it went pink. There's that pink. All right. So only the thing you have selected will change. So let me undo that because I want to go back to the normal one. The other thing that's really fun to play with, and I'll do this with a couple of designs, is under your color manager, you have harmonies. And with the harmonies, I'm going to move this over and bring it up a little bit so we can see it. There we go. With harmonies, you can choose different ones, like monochromatic, puts all your colors on the same plane, and you can move it around, and they're based off of color number 1. So color number 1 is your base color, and as I go around, I could change all of these to be monochromatic. And what's really cool is if I say I change this one, I'm going to go back out and open another one, and I'm going to select, well, first of all, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to my color manager, and I'm going to change this to marathon. And then I'm going to go to my harmonies, my monochromatic, and I'm going to make the next one. Oops, I don't want to do that. Hang on. I want to do the little arrow. Now, this little arrow sometimes is hard to move, and I keep moving the number 1. You want to put your cursor kind of on it or even away from it. I'm going to make this one green, and then there we go. So you could actually make a design. These are meant to kind of go together. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let me undo that. Let's see. I need to copy my thing and see if I can go here and paste it. There it is. Now I can have both of these in here. I'm going to bring it over here. So if I wanted to make maybe an artsy piece with these monochromatic designs, I could do that and add, the whole design is changed. All the colors will go together. And there are different harmonies in there. If I go back to my browser, let me open it again. When you go to your color manager and you open these up, there's the complementary ones. So as you move the arrow around, these are all complementary. There's also some special ones like the dyad, so that the base color is here. You can also change it with the intensity over here. And then as you move this, the colors will respond based on your number 1 color and then what these other colors are doing. And you can move your color. You can double click on the color and change the color itself. I could bring it over here, and now it's going to use these colors with this blue with it. I don't know if this will work if I go to, there we go. And these are the analogous ones here. I always say that wrong. Analogous, there we go, ones. And then again, you can move these around. They're using colors from 3 areas, but they all will go together, which I think this is really a fun thing to do. I'm going to close some of these right now. Let me go back. I don't need this one because I want to open a couple other ones. Now that was one from our machine. This one here is a purchase design, and I could do the same thing here. These are Janome colors, but maybe I use a different brand. I'm going to go to my color manager. I'm going to click on Janome, and I'm going to pick my brand. So I'm trying to think what other people are using. Well, we can go to Isacord. See, some of them are here, but people don't. There's a brand manufacturer name in front of them. So there's our Isacord. When I click select and I come back down here, these are all Isacord colors now. And again, I can change them the same way. But if I wanted to, maybe I wanted to do 1 or 2 of these campers. When you're using the harmonies, you want to, if you're going to put 2 of the same thing in your workspace, you want to make a second page so that you can bring one copy over to the next, because everything in the page will turn to that harmony when you're doing it one at a time like this. So we can look at square. I mean, look at all those colors. When you have the ones that are the harmonies that are down in here, these can make very vibrant designs because of the way the colors are on the color wheel. So if we work around, you can kind of see my little camper change. I think it's really cool. And then down, and it's nice that it changes all of them and they all go together so that, whoops, let me do that back. And they'll all work nicely together. If you're someone who likes to have color numbers, and if you're following a certain brand, this is a great way to play with your colors. I had one other one here I wanted, well, this egg might be very interesting too. This is in the designs that come with your software. And let's see what these are. If I go into Color Manager, they're Janome colors. We can leave them at Janome if we want to. We could make it a little brighter this way. And then if we change the harmony, we could do a little monochromatic. I don't know why I keep grabbing that for some reason. It's the arrow I want to grab up here, not moving my number one. Here we go. There we go. So you could make a whole bunch of these eggs in a, in an art piece and have them all, changed this way. Or maybe you wanted to do that, the triad, and then you can bring it around this way. And this is taking colors from 3 areas around your color wheel. So it's really fun, to get to know the color wheel over here. The other thing you can do is, let's go back to, let's see, I think I want to do, well, let me see if it'll work with this one. I'm going to make this bigger. So I can do fit to hoop. Ooh, look at that. Now this might not be the best fit to hoop because I can already see that it has openings in it. So that's one thing when you do the fit to hoop, you do want to be sure to check your work to make sure it's expanding nicely. But for these purposes, we're going to go right here. Now I'm going to go into my color manager right here. And this is a 7-color design. And there's one more color down here. But if I wanted it to be not 7 colors, and I don't know why it changed. Let me go back here. There we go. If I don't want it to be 7 colors, maybe I would like it to be, 5 colors. What it does over here is it will take the colors and match them to something that's close to what the color was. And if you want that, you can keep it that way. Or you can drag it down like this and it'll give you that color back. Did you see how I did that? If I want to bring this one back, I could bring it down here. Or I could join it with another one and it will make somewhat of a new color in there. So you have some options to play over here with your colors, especially if you have something that's a lot of colors. So if we went back to this piece, no, that didn't have as many colors I was thinking. Maybe this one here, this has a lot of colors. And I'm going to go back and get that from the original. Here we go. There it is. And so this has 17 colors. And I'm going to go to my color manager. I'm going to make it marathon. But I don't think I want 17 colors. Maybe I want to do it with 10. So I can slide my slider down to 10. There we go. And it groups those colors that are similar. So I have 10 colors now instead of and see how it added all these dark colors all into one. So, you could change that. If I wanted to keep the pink, I could put it down here. I could take that 12, maybe if I bring the 12 up, there we go. It'll make it 10 colors again, but it'll do the pink as the main color. So you can do some quick changes here and see it right away. You can always use your undo at the top as well. And the slider here for intensity, this always is very interesting to me, is getting those to work. All right, so let me go back here and I'm going to put the camera on for just a minute. All right. So I apologize today about my little kerfuffle with the internet connection. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with that, but I'm going to have to get that straightened out. I wanted to point out in the background here, this way, I do have my countdown to Christmas tree up. We did this several years ago. I don't know if we did it at the end of 2021 or somewhere in there. So you'll find that those videos, a lot of those have gone over to my YouTube channel. Some of the early ones, 2021, might not be over there just yet. I have to move them from another spot. I think I had them I had a different computer at that time, so I have to figure out where all these things are. And they might all be right on the Janome YouTube channel if you search way back on there. The other thing is, I wanted to show you my earrings. So I'm wearing my, these are made in the hoop. They are, making freestanding lace. I'm going to hold them up here. Let me turn them around this way. There we go, like that. So I've been wearing them. I've been going to some craft shows on the weekends and wearing my stars in one ear. And then I have my fringe tree over here. So we did this fringe tree last year or the year before, 2 years ago, I think, for the holiday open house. And Janome will be putting up the holiday open houses in the next week or so. Several of us did projects, so make sure you're checking those out when they come up. They were really fun to do. I always love doing the holiday project. So I'm going to let everybody go. Please post your comments below. If you need help with your color manager, hop on over to the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. We can help you there and answer all your questions. All right, everyone. Bye for now. Have a great day.